Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and the latest scene for Marvel's Loki drops some major clues about the Time Variance Authority, its absurd history, the way time works in it, and a possible connection to another Marvel title, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which, judging from the title alone, also seems to be throwing logic out the window, but a window later revealed to be a time vortex that spits logic out 30 seconds before you threw it. Quantumania director Peyton Reed tweeted he was beginning production this week, and many believe the origins of that film, including its confirmed villain, Master of Time Travel, Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, could be teased in this upcoming Loki series. The way WandaVision set up Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with things like dark magic, and Wanda Maximoff's villainous side as the Scarlet Witch, and a Doctor Strange cameo left on the cutting room floor to make YouTubers look like dopes. So is Kang coming in Loki? I mean, I've been down that vortex before, and let me tell you, it's definitely making that stained glass shot in the Loki trailer a bit triggering, but I am gonna break down all the connections here, all the loose ends from the past Marvel titles, and the deeper meaning of this new TVA history we have just learned. Spoiler warning in case any of my theories are right, but if not, it's fine because it's more fun to be surprised. So in this Loki introducing Agent Mobius scene, Loki and Mobius go over the basics of time in the TVA.
How long have you been here?
I don't know, it's hard to say. You know, time passes differently here in the TVA.
What does that mean?
You'll catch up.
So in the comics, the TVA is located in what's called the Null Time Zone, a dimension beyond the flow of time, depicted as a kind of vacant backdrop to a grid of bureaucratic humdrum, which likely inspired the glorious wide shot of the TVA HQ in the Loki footage. Now, we don't know where exactly the MCU TVA is set, only that Loki seems to be completely thrown by the idea of time passing differently somewhere, despite presumably knowing 9 different realms of planets and star systems where time literally flows differently as planets revolve around their stars at different rates. But whatever, everyone looks like a human and speaks English. Asgardian science is our magic, don't think about it. But there is one other place in the MCU that was described actually again and again as a realm where time does pass differently, the quantum realm. First by Hank Pym in the first Ant-Man movie.
It means that you would enter a quantum realm, a reality where all concepts of time and space become irrelevant as you shrink for all eternity.
And then with the example of Janet Van Dyne, who spent 30 years in the quantum realm. Unlike Scott Lang, who was trapped in the quantum realm for just 5 years, our time, but the reason why he didn't age is because, well, he's Paul Rudd, but also he fell into a time vortex within the quantum realm. Something Janet never did, based on her warning to Scott describing a time vortex as a kind of black hole, which it isn't really.
And don't get sucked into a time vortex. We won't be able to save you.
And Scott's trip through the time vortex, of course, inspired the whole Avengers trips through time in Endgame. And remember, in Endgame, despite multiple scenes trying to explain time travel in various different terms, that movie settled on a reshot scene with the Ancient One visually depicting the flow of time as a single timeline from which historical disruptions branch off. And it is this timeline logic that Loki is now building on. And not only with similar visuals of a wavy line with branches, but another part of this new scene has Loki mocking the TVA's description of a sacred timeline, probably a term they share with the Ancient One's view of it.
You were created by the Timekeepers.
Yep.
To protect the sacred timeline.
Correct. Is that funny?
The idea that your little club decides the fate of trillions of people across all of existence at the behest of 3 space lizards, yes, it's funny. It's absurd.
Whoa, wait. Space lizards? Show some respect, Loki. Actually, don't. You know, I'm with you. I think all statues bigger than the one of Steve Rogers in Brooklyn are stupid. But that lizard description, bit interesting, right? Now, sure, in the comics, the Timekeepers do have green skin, and I guess you could say reptilian features, but I am also reminded of perhaps the most important detail from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which director Peyton Reed confirmed would set up the next film, the subatomic Quantum Realm City, hidden in the background as Janet and Hank return to the surface. This video is brought to you by Epic Hero Fitness. Epic Hero Fitness is building a better way for beginners to exercise with a workout program designed specifically for you, along with a community of like-minded nerds at your side, with real guidance so that you can forget your doubts and just focus on achieving actual results. No fitness gimmicks, no unrealistic expectations, no fancy equipment even, just real body weight exercise plans developed by professional trainers, made to be approachable for total beginners, but dynamic enough to continually challenge you throughout your own progress. The workouts were designed by nerds for nerds and include a ton of fun nerdy trivia that will test your mental agility while also providing a welcome distraction from that burn. I've always found excuses to not exercise, and a lot of them were about my busy schedule, while Epic Hero Fitness workouts are great because I can do them at home in under an hour. No driving back and forth to the gym, no wandering through a maze of exercise equipment I don't know how to use, nobody judging my pit stains, just simple challenging workouts that I can easily fit into my routine. So subscribe to Epic Hero Fitness on YouTube and be sure to check out Epic Hero Fitness on Instagram for even more fitness content. Subscribe to Epic Hero Fitness on YouTube to start your origin story today. When Kang the Conqueror was confirmed as the villain for Ant-Man 3, that news, plus the Quantum Realm's role as the gateway to time travel in the MCU, more or less confirmed the city to at least be based on Chronopolis, which looks pretty much just like this in the comics. Chronopolis is Kang's city-state composed of architectural trophies collected from the past eras of history he has conquered. Now, Chronopolis isn't tiny, but you could argue neither is the Quantum Realm. Like the MCU has suggested, really the Quantum Realm is more of a separate dimension that's just accessed by shrinking between atoms, and that just opens a tiny, tiny gateway to a much bigger realm. But when we first saw that bubble city in 2018, among our speculation at the time was that this might be an MCU version of the planet Tak in the subatomic star system of the microverse in the comics. Tak was a world dominated by Doctor Doom when his fight with the Fantastic Four seemed to shrink him out of existence, but he fled down to the microverse where he mounted his comeback, and Tak was known for its lizard men. Now, we know Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania will venture even deeper into the quantum realm. I mean, the title Quantumania, obviously, and Peyton Reed's recent tweet revealing that they are shooting this film with the Volume, the 360-degree LED vivid backdrop technology used in movies and shows like The Mandalorian. And this tells us that they're going to be exploring a setting that's harder to show practically, you know, like the way Reed shot on the Pym Lab or the streets of San Francisco, but instead something more fantastical than that. And that city is a solid bet, and it may adapt elements of Chronopolis and Tak and instead just be given a new name, a kingdom called Quantumania. A city removed from time, home to lizard-like beings with a unique control over time, a race of timekeepers who deftly navigate their realm's native time vortexes. But the way in the comics Dr. Doom conquered Tak, I think these beings' quantum kingdom was conquered by an invader who stole their secret knowledge of time, and they became known as Kang the Conqueror. So, in order to protect and fortify the sacred immortal timeline, 3 survivors of the species created the TVA in a neutral space free from time in the image of their home kingdom, and designed this TVA to just be an endless tangle of red tape and an army of enforcers to keep everything in line from Kang and all other potential time bandits. At least this could be the backstory agents like Mobius think to be true, but who knows? My other theory could be right, and the whole timekeeper mythology would just be a lie to cover up the time crimes and corruption of TVA top brass. But whether through an implied Easter egg or a deleted scene casually mentioned by a Loki writer a month after the series ends, I do think Kang's existence and the origins of Quantumania have a very good chance of appearing in Loki. I mean, at least if for no other reason than the 2 titles are being written by dudes who used to write on Rick and Morty. I mean, that's gotta count for something, right? Hey, a reminder that our Inside Marvel Loki aftershows are gonna move to Wednesdays starting June 9th, the premiere of Loki, and then we're gonna have our Easter egg breakdowns releasing as soon as possible afterwards, most likely Thursdays. So you gotta subscribe to New Rockstars because it's gonna be a crazy time of overthinking, analysis, and maybe some correct theorizing. But hey, you can support this channel by checking out one of our many great merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Thanks for watching. Bye.